masses are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the high level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. This shit is over.
I am inevitable.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live back again in full effect. Welcome to Night and Day Network. Come on in. We got these topics we got to get into. Mr. Donald Trump, man, trying to automatically draft y'all children. We got to get into it. So this is news that's breaking today. I mean, they was talking about it before, but now they basically saying we can automatically just draft your child automatically. Just sign them right on up to die for Israel.
And the thing is, it's the selective service part is automatic. And if the thing is, before, if they didn't sign up for you, that's actually a felony.
Yeah, you had to go. You went to jail, right?
That's crazy. They say you could pay up a fine up to $250K and spend 5 years in prison.
Facts. Yeah, we gotta pull up Muhammad Ali when they was trying to draft him.
Right.
Trump punked out for the Vietnam draft. He was getting drafted, punked out, talking about bone spurs and all that shit. We're gonna get into it. We gotta get into it. Come on in, y'all. All right, shout out to y'all just coming in here. All right, Jackie Webb.
Shout out to all y'all.
Jay LaRubia, Brittany. All right, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Valerie Carter. All right, shout out to y'all just coming in here. Make sure y'all double tap the screen, like this video. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into it. Hope everybody enjoying the Thursday morning. Well, afternoon, where we at. Morning for some of you.
What up, Nicole?
All right. Come on in, y'all. All right, let me pull this up because
Metalcore Kick, what up?
Man, I don't see none of them people you seen.
I'm looking through the studio.
Oh, you looking through the still though? I still don't. Oh, because they in the other chat.
Yeah, they in the other chat too.
I forgot we live vertical and horizontal. My bad, y'all.
But you see them all. You see them all when you look through the studio. So I just look at the studio.
Right.
So you see,
All right. So this is Fox 5 Atlanta. They put out military draft registration going automatic in December, y'all. So late as December, they're gonna automatically sign your children up for the war. Right. Bone spurs. Yep.
Bone spurs are painful, man.
Yeah. Well, that's Trump said he couldn't go to Vietnam War because of bone spurs. But they busted him out and said he was lying about that. But
let's start talking about the possibility of
All right, so let me bring this back for y'all.
Let's start talking about the possibility of the U.S. draft coming back. So the U.S. military will automatically register eligible men for the Selective Service draft system a bit later this year. Previously, the onus was on the men to register themselves. So that's going to definitely impact families of young men. Think late teens, early 20s and beyond. So if you're curious, what is the Selective Service System? It's the military draft, and it was established back in 1917 by President Woodrow Wilson after the U.S. entered World War I. So that puts some things into perspective for you as to where this stands. And if we're calling this back, it must mean this is some serious stuff to our government. Under federal law, most men between 18 and 25 are required to register with the Selective Service System in case Congress and the president authorize a military draft. So right now, though, they have to self-register within 30 days of their 18th birthday, but they're allowed to register late without penalty until they turn 26. So that the sort of workaround here. Think about it that way. Failure to register is considered a crime that could disqualify you from student loans, most federal jobs, and U.S. citizenship for immigrants, Stars and Stripes reports. So when you think of the phrase draft dodger, it comes from this. Women are still exempt from registering, though. A new rule passed by Congress just last year will automatically register those eligible men in the system, which transfers responsibility for registration from individual men to SSS through integration of federal data sources. This is, again, all coming from the SSS website. So here's the big picture. Draft registration has declined in recent years. And don't just take my word from it. It's coming from the Military Times that monitors this especially closely. And they say that it's in part because federal student loan forms removed the option to register back in 2022. So if you're curious as to when the military draft will become automatic, here's a look at the timeline. According to the Selective Service System, it's hard to say, try it 10 times fast. Automatic registration will be in place by December.
So y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? So they're automatic draft by December to draft your children from 18 to 25. I guess they're making exception for the age 26. But yeah, they want to draft y'all children, our children of America. They want to draft to fight this war for Israel, not even for America. What y'all think about that? They want to draft your 18-year-old child to basically send them off to die for something that has nothing to do with America.
They must be planning on going to war with somebody
I
else
think
because
right,
no way they
right,
need all them ground troops for
right,
Iran.
right. I mean,
They
even though
must got
Iran
other
is a big
plans in
country,
store. Man,
but yeah, like you said, like it's like when the Fox reporter asked well fucking asked her uh about who's the biggest threat. Asked Kamala who's the biggest threat. And she said Iran. And he was like, I thought you would have said China. So did America prepare to go to war? You think with China or Russia?
they would be putting us to death.
Basically.
Our government would be putting us to death if we try to go to war with China and Russia.
Yeah.
I hope the people don't go for no dumb. The thing is, China was already threatening the United States, the United States and Israel, basically, if they attack Iran with a nuke or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you use a nuke on Iran, we coming after you. That's basically China. So you already know that would spark off another world war.
World War III.
Yep. Then the next thing you know, now we don't know if this is actually going to happen or not, but it's a possibility. I mean, they sitting there talking about draft.
Yeah.
That means that they gearing up for something.
Right. Right. So they announced this draft right after the so-called ceasefire. Yeah, so I don't know, man. What y'all think about that? Y'all gonna send y'all children off to fight for this for Israel? Because they're not fighting for America. Y'all sending y'all 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds off to fight for this battle for Israel. I should
Yeah, I
have put
don't.
up a poll. Hold on, it's
Yeah,
a
I don't
poll.
believe. Yeah, I don't believe this war is about protecting American citizens. I tell you that.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm gonna do a poll because you could do polls on the StreamYard now. I'm gonna do a poll. All right, y'all. I'm gonna do a poll real quick.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't
All right,
see this war being anything about protecting America. So
right.
we putting all this money into this war just to assist Israel in taking
Facts.
down Iran.
Facts. Facts. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. See if you can do a poll on here. They said you could do a poll now on a StreamYard. So I'm trying to see where. Yeah, because I don't feel like this. Like, what they gonna do? Lock up a whole bunch of young adults up because they don't want to go to war? Where they gonna put them at?
That's
To
why
be
they want to
honest,
build these ice. That's why they want to build these ice facilities all over the United States.
because I feel like
Think about it. It's all coming at a perfect time. They want the ICE facilities all over the United States.
yeah,
Basically, big detention camps all over the United States. They picking
right,
fights with every country around the world. They collapsing our economy. Now they talking about the draft. Now they want to get serious about a military draft of all the kid 18 to 25, all the kids,
right,
and basically sacrificing them on the front line. Because that's basically what they're doing. And they're not doing it for the United States. They're doing it to assist Israel. Because the United States citizens don't benefit from this war at all. All American citizens is going to experience is lost children, lost money, lost
right.
power and lost freedoms.
Basically, blood sacrificing these children.
So they say they send troops over there and the military is protecting our freedom. Actually, it does the opposite. Because every time our country spend all this money on the war, the taxes get raised higher. And in order to be free in the United States, you got to have money. So
Right,
if the money is dwindling, prices are going up, jobs are scarce, gas prices high as shit. And in America, the rules is if you want to be free in America, you gotta have that money if you want to be free.
yeah, that's the only
Because
thing, right,
that's the only thing gonna help you to be free in the United States is having money. Let's be real. So if these wars take that away, then you're gonna be enslaved. And guess who you be enslaved to? You enslaved. You run into the government asking them for money. You run
right,
into, you begging a corporation because you get a job with them, or could you get extra extended hours, or you got to get another job. No, you're losing freedom. Because let's just be real. America is not in danger from no other country right now. All this stuff that we in danger from Iran, that's bull crap.
yeah,
Iran couldn't even make it over here. They don't even have a strong enough navy to even make it over to the United States. They don't even have they don't have a strong enough navy to even launch missiles that'll be effective of hitting any of our cities. Don't let them lie to you. Iran is not built like that. They do not spend as much money on their military as the United States. They damn sure wouldn't come over here and try to fight a ground war. So we're in no threat of Iran. So us going into Iran and all that, saying that it's to protect American citizens is bullshit. And the thing is, you can't say, "Oh, Americans are protecting their investments over there," because every time a war happens, us over here we suffer. All the money coming out of
yeah.
our
We don't
asses.
benefit. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't benefit. What do we
American
benefit
citizens
from?
don't benefit from
What
any
do we
type of
benefit
war.
from? What do we benefit from? They got us so fixed on that we need a strong military to protect this country. Like there's that many threats out there. The real threats is from inside our own country. That's where the real threat is, straight from inside our own government. Especially the ones that's in cahoots with Israel. That's
Right,
where the real threats are coming from. Because they're not in there for our best interest. How don't people know that by now? Did we just see one of them? Didn't we just see at the one of the what was it, like a sit-in Senate meeting, and then the general dude got his arm broke by one of those politicians because he was protesting against
yeah, yeah,
war
yeah.
and
That was recent.
protesting. That was just recent.
Yeah, yeah,
That
that
goes
was
to show you
recent.
how they feel about veterans. Look how they treat veterans.
Yeah, but he
Like
was pulling. He
you're
was pulling on the
disposable.
door, like right, like he was holding on to the door, and they just yanked his arm, and it snapped. Like you could actually hear his arm snap in half.
They look at your children as disposable. They look at all of us as disposable. How can't we see that yet? How could people still be that brainwashed and think that this government care about you. That
Right.
reason why they starting all these wars all around the world is to protect American citizens. How could people still believe that in 2026 after all the corruption we've seen throughout the years coming from the United States government? Who in the hell still believes that? I mean, that's some serious brainwashing. Like your mind is completely turned off and only in tune with the mainstream media and the commercialized way of thought. Like that's like
Right.
who could still believe this shit? Like who could still believe it?
Yeah,
There's no way that we
Ve-
think our troops are fighting for America's freedom. They fighting for to keep the banks going and keep the corporations flowing.
yeah, keep them thriving.
Military
Yeah,
industrialized complex. They
business
love
as
making
usual.
money off these wars.
Yeah, it's big business for the artillery. You
Yep,
know,
the artillery,
everything that has to do with war,
everything has to do with
food,
war, right?
every down to the napkins that they have to use. Everything is big
Yep,
business for the
shelter,
corporation.
everything.
Shelter,
Yep,
right.
everything.
So let's get to what Ventura said about the Vietnam draft when he was drafting for the Vietnam.
Me changed during Vietnam when I saw the draft because the rich kids didn't have to go. Donald Trump got bought his way out of it. He was going to get drafted, and his dad went and paid off, and he got bone spurs. Really? He's never missed a round of golf. Those bone spurs would be painful. How the hell could he play golf? Withstand that pain and swing that golf club. I mean, there's a true tough leader. You know what made me change? During Vietnam when I saw the draft. Because the rich kids didn't have to go. Donald Trump got bought his way out of it. He was going to get drafted, and his dad went and paid off, and he got bone spurs. Really? He's never missed a round of golf. Those bone spurs would be painful. How the hell could he play golf? Withstand that pain and swing that golf club. I mean, there's a true tough leader. You know what made me change? During Vietnam when I saw the draft. Because the rich kids didn't have to go. Donald Trump got bought his way out of it. He was going to get drafted, and his dad went and paid off, and he got bone spurs. Really? He's never missed a round of golf. Those bone spurs would be painful. How the hell could he play golf? Withstand that pain and swing that golf club. I mean, there's a true tough leader.
Yeah, he's a soft leader. Yeah, he ain't about that. He ain't gonna go out there and is he gonna send Barron out? How old is Barron?
Old enough.
Hold on. Oh, Barron old enough. Why don't you send Barron over there to go fight? His tall ass. Give his tall ass a gun. Let Barron tall ass go over there and fight. Since you want to draft people so goddamn bad, send tall ass 7-foot ass Barron over there to shoot up something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the people that cause the most wars around the world and quickly put us in the middle of it, they don't get affected by this. Like we said, if a country shot a nuke over here, the president and his family would be good. The American citizens will have to pay for that shit. We would be the ones dying of fallout or dying from a direct blast from a nuclear weapon. But he'd be in some bunker somewhere. He'd be in some bunker somewhere, you know, stocked up with the finest foods and all types of shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can easily sit up there and talk about how we need to go to war with this person and go to war, but you ain't gonna send none of your kids out there to be sacrificed.
Let's see what
and you ain't even go out there.
Right. Let's see what the brother Muhammad Ali thought about the draft when they tried to draft his ass. This is the mindset your children need to have. You know what I mean? If they trying to draft your goddamn child to go fight for a country that we ain't got shit to do with. We ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck Israel over there doing at all. Don't be trying to sacrifice our children over here. Don't be trying to make blood sacrifices for our children over here.
Ali defeated Foley by a knockout in the 7th round. Immediately thereafter, he walked into the teeth of a monumental decision. He was drafted, and then he refused induction on the grounds of his religious convictions on war.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor, hungry people in the mud for big, powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger. They never lynched me. They never put no dogs on me. They never robbed me of my nationality. raped and killed my mother and father. Well, I'm going to shoot them for what? How am I going to shoot them? Them little poor little black people, little babies and children and women. How can I shoot them poor people? Just take me to jail.
While fighting imprisonment for his stand, Ali was also stripped of his title, denied a license to fight in the United States, and denied a visa to go overseas to fight. He was in a much tighter financial bind than most were aware of.
I want to see the world heavyweight champion driving the Volkswagen, guys in the Cadillacs and making fun of you. So I'm working today, I'm hauling, right? And so one day I had to speak at Canisius. Heard of Canisius? Canisius, Fairleigh Dickinson, C.W. Post. 3 colleges at $1,500 a college. Pretty good money. So I broke my wife's piggy bank. She had about $35 in it. $135. I broke the piggy bank to get gas money to get me to the college. And I got enough gas and food money to get the $4,500, the $1,500 lecture. At 45 would hold me, pay gas bills, light bills, till I get to the next college. This went on until the whole mess was over.
Inevitably, students would challenge Ali on his stand and his convictions. Remarkably, Ali more than held his own against students who had a far better formal education than he.
I'm saying you talking about me about some draft, and all of you white boys are breaking your neck to get to Switzerland and Canada and London. I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Vietcong's or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
Well, right. They want American. They want American kids to go off and die. They ain't get no benefits from that. Nothing at all. Yeah, they need to stand up and say, hell nah, we ain't going to that shit. Nope, we ain't going to fight for no goddamn Israel. Are you crazy?
You realize they always start these big wars when a whole bunch of consciousness come on the planet, because just think around the Vietnam time, all the people who was like against the corporations and all that. And you know the people who was living in nature, they quit all their corporate jobs and all that, and they said F this, and they just went back to nature. Like, people who actually awaken from they want that draft because they want to be able to kill a lot of those free thinkers before they become something. So that's another thing. That's another thing that they like to do. That's why they have those emergency drafts and they start these wars, because they send your kids over there to be targets, because they got whole databases on all of us and they know who's who and who's going to be who.
Right.
They using quantum computers and advanced AI right now. So
yeah, they've been
using that. They've been using that for over 100 years, but they never tell us that.
Right, they able to definitely track and see who's who.
Yeah, for sure.
Beforehand, and they basically try to calculate what they'll be beforehand, based off the fact their family backgrounds, or they'll do extensive research on your family history, like dating back, because that's what they take our blood for. What you think they collect our blood for at birth? They wasn't doing that before. They was collect. They start what?
Yeah, what
year they started collecting our blood? That was in the 80s, right? When they actually started collecting blood for children's birth.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Let me see.
People can look that up.
Let me look it up right now.
But they definitely use this war draft and all that stuff as a way to exterminate a bunch of people that they know will be a problem for them in the future.
Let me see. All right, so
you remember the whole hippie movement and all that shit? A lot of people was becoming conscious and like, man, F this corporate, F this system, and they just go out and live out in nature. That's a threat to the system. That's more of a threat to the system than us picking guns up and trying to go after them that way. Actually, what they really scared of is people not playing their game anymore.
Right.
They more in fear of that than people taking up arms against them, because they got stuff for us to take up arms. Like we try to take up arms against the American government around this time. The citizens, it'd be hard for the citizens to even compete with that, because they got these DARPA weapons and shit that they got in hiding. They already brought one out, if y'all remember, the discombobulator shit that they used over there in Venezuela.
Yeah, I seen somebody here say,
that's the frequency weapon. They using that shit on mass population.
I heard
So
somebody.
the best thing is just not to participate in any of their shit. We could collapse them that way. Just don't play their game anymore.
I seen somebody come here and say that the gas prices, the oil prices will go down because we got the oil from Venezuela. Did you miss when they said the oil was sent over there to Israel? For the person that said the oil prices will go down because we got control of the oil. No, the oil was sent to Israel.
It damn sure was.
America do not contain that oil from Venezuela. It was sent to Israel. Do we need to pull up the news again? That oil was sent to Israel. Venezuela oil sent to Israel.
So we damn sure ain't benefit off of that. American citizens didn't.
All right. So reports from February 2026 indicated Venezuela oil was shipped to Israel the first time in years, with tankers delivering crude oil to the Israel Bazan Group, Israel's largest crude processor. The shipment is part of the geopolitical shift in energy markets amid changing political leadership in Venezuela. Though Venezuela officially labeled reports. So the oil was sent to Israel.
That's insane.
All right. So no, America does not have that oil. It was sent to Israel. But this is him explaining why he didn't get drafted, saying he regret getting drafted. Well, you lied and said you had bone spurs, sir. So how was you getting drafted? Anyway, let's continue.
A rare admission from Donald Trump, expressing regret about not serving in the military.
Something I've always missed. And, I built and helped build the Vietnam Memorial in downtown Manhattan. To me, that was a very important thing to do. But I've regretted not serving in many ways.
Trump has been under fire for days after criticizing the family of a fallen soldier who challenged Trump at the Democratic National Convention.
You have sacrificed nothing and no one.
I think I made a lot of sacrifices. I worked very, very hard. I've created thousands and thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs.
Trump's reaction spurring more anger and scrutiny of his own military record.
I was fortunate to really not have to go. This was during the Vietnam period, and we were in a very, very highly contested and unpopular war.
June 1964, Trump registered for the draft after he graduated from the New York Military Academy. He received 4 education deferments while he was at Fordham and Wharton. Then, September 1968, Trump, starting his real estate career, got a medical deferment because of a bone spur in his foot.
I had deferments because of college, like a lot of people did. Numerous deferments because of college, and I had a foot thing, and I had deferment for that.
Despite the fact Trump had been active in various sports, including basketball and baseball.
The battles have no fixed fronts.
Trump often explains it was his high draft number, 356, which spared him from going to Vietnam.
That was an amazing period of time in my life. I was sitting at college watching. I was going to the Wharton School of Finance, and I was watching as they did the draft numbers, and I got a very, very high number, and those numbers never got up to.
But as it turns out, the draft lottery was never a factor when Trump was in college. According to Selective Service records obtained by CNN, Trump had been out of school for 18 months before the lottery even began. The Republican candidate prides himself on being a champion for veterans.
And we're going to take care of the vets, believe me. We're going to take care of their medical. We're going to take care of the vets.
Today,
this guy's incapable of telling the truth. Let's just keep it real. But they all lie, though. It's not just Trump. All the motherfuckers lie. All them politicians lie. They all lie. Don't matter if they Democrat, Republican, they all fucking liars. Let's continue.
Veteran gave Trump his Purple Heart.
I always wanted to get the Purple Heart. This was much easier.
Well, he didn't get the Purple Heart. He got the chicken heart.
Chicken heart. Chicken run.
Right, fucking chicken heart. Let me play this one more time, man. I like Ventura, man.
Oh, there's no volume.
This is for you, Mr. Donald Trumpstein. This is for you, Trumpstein.
Dumpstein. Donald Dumpster.
You know what made me change? During Vietnam when I saw the draft. Because the rich kids didn't have to go. Donald Trump got bought his way out of it. He was going to get drafted, and his dad went and paid off, and he got bone spurs. Really? He's never missed a round of golf. Those bone spurs would be painful. How the hell could he play golf? Withstand that pain and swing that golf club. I mean, there's a true tough leader. You know what made...
Funny as shit. Shout out to Ventura, man. That's a true American. Ventura.
And don't think just because we saying this about Trump that we give a shit about Biden or Kamala or any of them. They was just as bad.
Might have been even worse.
Obama's. Yeah, Sleepy Joe was real terrible. Yeah, Sleepy Joe was terrible. Don't you understand? It ain't nobody to vote for. Only people still vote now are people who's extremely still brainwashed. 2026, this is 2026, y'all. All this information at our fingertips. We know none of these politicians ain't shit. We know none of these politicians ain't shit. I don't care what political party they are.
Like I said, they want to draft, send all the politician kids to war first. The ones that have sons and daughters, I guess sons, because I guess they women exempt or whatever. But if they got sons from 18 to 26, let them send their children off to fight for this country. Why they want to put our children on the front line, but not put theirs on the front line? Y'all should be lined up first. Like the politicians that support this shit, that support Israel, y'all children should be lined up first. Let the American citizens' children, leave them alone, and y'all let y'all children go sign up first. That's only fair, right? That's only fair, right?
Hell yeah.
Y'all let us know in the chat, in the comments, is that only fair that they support this Israel war so damn bad? Won't they, enlist their kids first? That should be only right. Nobody should disagree with this shit. Because they the ones.
Magatards, your kids need to go.
All y'all that voted for these pricks. All the ones up there at the House and the Senate that voted for this shit. Send y'all kids first. Then we'll see how that works. As far as put them on the front line and see how that works out for them. And then maybe think about a draft after that. But yeah, send their children on first. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that person definitely sit there and watches mainstream news all day. Talking about it's clear President Trump is doing a fantastic job keeping our country safe and best president in history. You know that's a brainwashed slave.
I wish I could believe that, but there's no truth in that. There's no truth in that.
Yeah, he's keeping our country safe, about to get us in and get us in war with China and Russia, fucking around with Iran.
Right.
Yeah, that's really keeping us safe, huh? When we already $39 trillion in debt, y'all know we can't really afford to war. Americans are broke as shit. We can't afford no war right now.
Yeah, we can't afford war or
Right.
taking our dumb asses out in space. No war, no space. Like you going out in space for what? Even though the war is costing more than anything right now. It's almost almost $1 billion a day just to fight a goddamn war. And they asking for $200 billion more. Like, damn, what y'all need all that? Why do Israel need all that money from America? Why? Why? Why do they need all that money? They must plan on taking over the whole goddamn Middle East.
Oh yeah.
That ain't gonna work though. You know that shit ain't gonna work.
K Cashing Out says they committing ecocide and calling it development. They're killing the earth, displacing nations, poisoning children, and still demanding loyalty from the survivors. Yeah, that's pretty much their game.
Yeah.
Yep, that's been their game plan. Yeah, these United States government and the Israeli government, they are the most wickedest on the planet right now. Like the United States government is rogue as hell. I don't care who's in there. I don't care Democrat, Republican. I don't give a shit who's in there. I don't care who's what political party is ruling the Senate. I don't give a fuck who's sitting at the seats of Congress. They are all wicked. Most of them are being paid off, and if they're not being paid off, they're being blackmailed. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
And nobody can debate that. Nobody can. All the scandals that the United States government
Set
got
up.
caught in over the years, like we could name thousands of them right now. Like it's just it don't even make any sense. It don't make any sense.
As we always put this up as a reminder, where our tax dollars. Our tax dollars. Right there, y'all. Tax dollars. They really think we supposed to foot that bill right there. They really want Americans to foot that bill right there. $40 trillion. Almost 40 trillion. Meanwhile, they going off fighting wars and flying shit into space. That don't mean nothing. Like I always say, what are we going to benefit from them going into space? What is our return investment on that? All right, because we're taxpayers. So what is our return investment on them going to war? What's our return investment on them going into space? We don't want them. We don't want them bombing countries. We don't want innocent children and women and men dying. We didn't ask for that. We don't want that. We want peace with Iran. We want peace with Palestine. We want peace with all these other countries that they're trying to go to war with. We don't got smoke with Cuba. There's no smoke
We
there.
damn sure don't.
He thought, yeah, we can go over to Cuba. Yeah, we could pretty much do what we want with the country and sell it anyway. Because yeah, take it over or free the people. And no, how about they let Cuba deal with that shit? It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, Americans love Cuban cuisine and all that type of shit.
Cuban cigars. Yeah, they love smoking them goddamn Cuban cigars up there.
But I'm talking about the general public. The general people love Cuban food and all. Like like America is diverse when it comes to a lot of stuff. We ain't got a problem with most of these people that our government have a problem with. Like when we was in Vietnam, we didn't even know why the fuck we was there. Nobody had no problems with no Vietnam. Well,
Never had a problem with no
normal
Vietnam.
American didn't have no problem with no Vietnamese person.
And
just like we don't have no problems with no Iranians.
Right. That was the big point that Muhammad Ali was making. Like, I'm not going over here to kill no Vietnam. They haven't done nothing to me. He said, if I want to fight someone, I'm gonna fight you. You don't want to keep oppressing me, oppressing my people. I gotta play it one more time, bro. I just love Muhammad Ali approach on that shit, man. And that's the approach our American children need to be having. Like, y'all trying to send us to go to war for y'all, but what we benefiting in this country? Nothing. You can't even give us free healthcare and free education. You mean to tell me I gotta go off the war and fight and come? I can't even get free healthcare and free education. That makes no sense. Meanwhile, Israel got free healthcare, free education. We done damn near gave them 300 and something billion dollars ever since the state of Israel was set up. So they benefited the most. Meanwhile, American citizens get nothing. Play this video real quick. Let me know if you
My
can.
conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger. They never lynched me. They never put no dogs on me. They never robbed me of my nationality, raped and killed my mother and father. Well, I'm going to shoot them for what? How can I go shoot them? Them little poor little black people, little babies and children and women. How can I shoot them poor people? I would just take me to jail.
Ali more than held his own against students who had a far better formal education than he.
I'm saying you talking about me about some draft, and all of you white boys are breaking your neck to get to Switzerland and Canada and London. I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemies are white people, not Vietnams or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
Facts. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. That's real shit, though. That's what I said.
One thing I don't agree. One thing I don't agree with Muhammad Ali with this one. It ain't really about black and white.
Well, yeah, well, during that time, right,
because
yeah.
oppressors is all different types of
Yeah,
and colors now.
facts. That transcend past white and black now. Yeah, this is
damn sure do.
This is definitely a global organization that has nothing to do with color.
Actually a spiritual war. This is
Yeah,
really
right,
a spiritual war.
Right. That's a
It's
fact.
really a war for our minds and our souls.
Right.
That's what this really is
And
about.
that's the big picture. Facts. That's the major that's the large picture.
They want to keep war on our minds because if they keep war on our minds, we be at war with ourselves, at war with each other, and at war with everybody else, while they sitting there dividing and conquering, and we constantly at war. See, we gotta rise above this shit. Any president or any world leader in there going in there talking about war and invading countries, they need to be basically taken out. Like they do not need to be around at all. Like we do not need a whole bunch of more war on the planet. And the thing is, people talking about how you guys sound like retards and morons. It's intelligent to be warring all the time and destroying land and destroying economies. Oh, that's intelligent, huh? That's intelligent. When most of this shit can be talked out.
Right, that's a fact.
I mean, it's like it's almost like a bunch of hypocrites. Oh, when kids fight in school and they're like, well, you guys should have just talked it out instead of getting physical and violent with each other. Now you're getting suspended from school. Well, our fucking government need to take the same advice. The world leaders need to take the same advice. Why the fuck you gotta build up arms and going and bombing this country up and drone striking that country up? This is not shit that can be sit down and talked about. Plus, nobody really owns shit, so I don't know why we warring over land and all that. Nobody really owns anything. We all gonna die and go back to the land. The land owns us. If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, from the dust you come, to the dust you shall return.
Yeah. So nobody really owned this shit anyway. And that's an intelligent, mature way to look at things. Not with a war mind, like, oh, yeah, but you gotta go in there, you gotta take this, you gotta kill this person, you gotta do that. That's a low intelligent, that's a low intelligent mind right there. There's no intelligence behind all this war and shit. That's all these drone strikes and killing all these innocent men, women, and children, blowing up elementary schools and all that type of stuff. That don't sound intelligent at all. That don't sound intelligent at all. But finding a way to intelligently compromise and come to an agreement without dropping bombs on each other. Now that's more intelligent.
But it's not intelligent that they want to draft 18 to 25-year-olds to go to war for Israel. That's not intelligent. Like, did y'all sign up for that? Are y'all really gonna sign y'all children up to go to war for Israel? 18, 25-year-olds? For y'all that got children in there, I'm talking about Americans. Because I know it's probably some people from other countries in here, but we're talking about for you Americans that got children that's 18 to 25. They're saying by December they're gonna automatically sign your children up to go to war. Are y'all signing up? That's what y'all want? Be honest. Is that what y'all really want? Your child to actually go to war for Israel? Because they're not going to war for America. Because that war they're trying to fight over there has nothing to do with America at all. They just announced today that your children, 18 to 25-year-old, is going to be automatically drafted. So how long they prolonging this war? They must be prolonging, like you said, bro. They must be planning on doing something real catastrophic, like trying to go to war with a bigger country. If they think they're gonna go to war, if they think they're gonna take this country to war with China, we're fucking mistaken.
Yeah, he would have to be removed out of there immediately. And
Like, why is it fair enough?
Congress need to be removed out of there if they keep allowing this circus to continue.
No, them politicians need to draft their children first. They need to enlist their children first. No American citizens don't need to be sending their children to go off and die for some shit that has nothing to do with them. Then they come back.
It don't necessarily mean sign up. That's just putting you in a position if they do call a draft, then it's possible you could get drafted between the ages of 18 and 25. Yeah, that don't just because the selective service thing, we know that. But we saying that they taking it serious right now because you see Trump threatening all these countries, and you see a lot of people around that's not really feeling this. Americans right now in general is not feeling these wars at all. We in America is sitting here struggling, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why prices are going up, why our economy is doing so bad. That's the general public is more focused on that type of stuff, healthcare and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Going to war, that's Trump's thing right there. That's in Israel. That's Trump.
Yeah, that ain't even
Israel
right.
and the
Just say
other
Trump's just the face of it.
But the American people, we don't want shit to do with that. So now they want to try to get our mind set on this war shit by talking about the draft and then tweaking little laws to where they're going to automatically sign your kids up for selective service. I mean, you got to think about it. This is all a mind game. This is all a mind. Like I said earlier, this is a war for your mind and a war for your soul. So that that's what they're distracting us with, all this war talk. At the same time, robbing us blind. They distracting us with war talk, but robbing us blind at the same time. Because it already came out that Trump is using this announcing what he's going to do to Iran. He's manipulating the market by doing that. He knows exactly where the market is going to go when he makes certain statements in the media, because we know war and all that shit affect the markets. So that's another thing that he's doing. You know, the war, you remember in the Bible said wars and rumors of wars?
Yeah.
Like the rumors of wars just so they can manipulate the market. And that's another tactic that they use.
Right. That's what the Rothschilds was doing during Napoleon. It was based off the information they was sending back. Napoleon was sending back. That's how they was manipulating the war. Basically crashed the market and bought everything up for pennies on a dollar. That's how they became the power.
Right.
Manipulating wars, funding both sides of the wars at that. So that's another thing we gotta realize too. Like the people that the upper echelons of society, they actually fund both sides of these wars.
Right.
So they will fund Israel and they will fund Palestine. They will fund Israel and they will fund Iran. So they will fund both sides of the war. Like the Rothschilds been known for doing that shit for centuries. And that's all public history. That's not made up shit or conspiracy theories or these people are known for funding both, and they known for staging catastrophic events done by them so they can take people to war. They create this boogeyman like Osama bin Laden or whoever, Hamas or whoever else they want to throw in there as the boogeyman. And that they've been doing this shit for centuries. They always been doing this. That's their whole tactic. It was known that it was Israelis with the 9/11 shit. Wasn't Arabs. It was Israelis.
There you go.
So that just
with the help of the CIA and the Pentagon. Don't forget.
Yeah. So these wars have nothing to do with the citizens. And so you want to get wrapped up in that shit if you want to. It really has nothing to do with the American citizens at all. This is all big business as usual.
Most of our politicians, rather Democrats or Republicans, are against the interests of the American people. It's been like this for a long time. So I want y'all to hear me clear. I see a lot of y'all in there arguing about, oh, the Democrats did this and the Republicans did this. Both sides are not shit. All the leaders that represent either side, whether Democrat or Republican, are against the interest of you if you're an American citizen. They are totally against the interests of your they don't care about your well-being. They don't care about your kids' well-being. All they care about is protecting their own asses and serving Israel and the central banks and the big corporations that be paying them off. And the ones who might not be for that, they're being blackmailed. And the ones who ain't able to be blackmailed and ain't for it, usually they get taken out. They become whistleblowers, and next thing you know, they dying from some mysterious cancer, or they get in a mysterious car crash or some shit like that. Just know that's what that's the reality. Like the corruption is so deep now, y'all. The corruption runs past a Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, I mean it's Epstein
shit don't matter.
This Epstein shit was proof of that. I mean Epstein, which we got to get into our next segment. Epstein is proof. This Epstein shit is proof of that. There's no political parties when it comes to the Epstein. This is like really global, organized crime. This is global shit. We gotta get into a quick commercial break, bro, so we can get into this Epstein shit. Because this Epstein, we came across some resurfaced videos that a lot of people probably missed, like, because nobody really knew about this Epstein guy until this shit really came out. Until he was prosecuted, went to jail, him and his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. No one, I mean, you might have heard about Epstein through passing, but we never knew what this guy was really into like that until all this shit came out. And then you've seen he was connected with Trump, connected with Clinton, connected with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Like, he's connected with all these people. And meanwhile, he's been operating since the 80s, and every administration knew about this guy, and they turned a blind eye to this shit. They turned the blind eye to this guy because a lot of them was getting blackmailed by this Epstein character. So let's go ahead and get into this quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Make sure y'all stay tuned, stay locked in with us. This video is sponsored by nightandayherbals.com, where we sell nothing but natural herbal products. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day just slowed me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. And this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. It feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for night and day pain relief balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
Comfort slows you down. Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.
All right, link to our shop is in the description of this video. Make sure y'all check this out. Definitely appreciate all y'all support. And let's continue, man. We got to get into the Epstein. Back into Epstein again, because that's definitely trying to take the focus off of the Epstein. A lot of these distractions with the war and shit is still trying to make us forget that all these people that's voting on going to war and all that shit. A lot of them was in cahoots with Epstein. So let's not forget that as well. They trying to make us take the focus off of Epstein. Nah, we not doing that. We gonna keep it on the Epstein shit too. All right, so this is a video that resurfaced. So VH1 did a special on Epstein back in 2007. Now, a lot of us didn't really know who this guy was. Like, you might have heard about him in the media through passing, but we never knew what this guy was into. So this is a video that's resurfaced, you know, going viral on the internet again. This is from 2007, VH1. All right, so let's get into this.
Jeff was a high school math teacher until he traded his blackboard for the big board in 1976, eventually launching his own exclusive finance firm for billionaire clients. But he just couldn't keep out of the classroom. So when he was shopping for a new house, he bought himself an entire schoolhouse and transformed it into the largest single residence in all of Manhattan at a whopping 51,000 square feet.
Oh, yeah. The school cost about $20 million, and he's dropped $10 million just renovating it.
It has incredible bells and whistles, closed circuit televisions, a heated sidewalk out front, so the snow melts.
But only one man truly rules the Wall Street skies. Because for former school teacher turned billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, one private plane won't do. He's got a small fleet. A Gulfstream 4, a Cessna, and a Boeing 727 with, of course, an in-flight trading room.
He has a Boeing 727. I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-size airliner for?
Believe us, it comes in handy when you've got powerful friends to fly around. When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727 and took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip.
Now, for former President Clinton, it was a chance to investigate the problems of AIDS in Africa, and for Epstein, it was a chance to hang out with some of his big-shot friends.
Jet-setting with Bill, all in a day's work for Wall Street mogul. He unwinds in his $6.8 million Palm Beach villa. But no Wall Street island hopper grabbed a sweeter spread than our friend Jeffrey Epstein. With an estimated annual take of $75 million, he had more than enough cash to buy his own piece of the Virgin Islands.
Jeffrey Epstein owns a 70-acre private island called Little St. James. It used to be a resort.
And now it's sort of lovingly called Little St. Jeff.
Why not? It's all his. Yeah, boy! But when Jeff is back in the States, he retreats to the Santa Fe mega ranch he bought back in 1993.
Epstein is said to have the largest home in New Mexico. His property is 75.
Remind you, they found 2 bodies. They found bodies on that property. two dead women buried underground on that property. So all this bragging they was doing for VH1 was doing back in 2007. Mind you, all these properties is where he was doing all his sex trafficking at, doing all his blackmailing at. So let's not forget that.
100 acres.
Can I have it like that? You got it like that. All of his homes, all over the country and the world, are equipped with trading screens. So he can basically just wake up in the morning and start trading.
Next.
Brett just kissed me, and I think I heard angels sing.
While Brett wines and dines.
Sure, we're top.
Yeah, so that's the special they did on Epstein back in 2007. VH1 did a little small segment on Jeffrey Epstein, saying how much he worth, how much he, setting up his billionaire, his firm, his financier firm. Now it comes out in the files that Jeffrey Epstein and funded the Bitcoin, the whole crypto thing, the whole COVID thing with Bill Gates. Like he was just basically moving Rockefeller and the money around, Rothschilds and Rockefeller money around, finding different things to finance, financing projects, basically. That's his whole that was Epstein's whole bit right there. Sex trafficking, blackmailing, financing projects, whole lot of other shit he was into. Yep. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up right here.
And you think he's the only guy out there operating like that for
Right.
them?
Hell no. Hell no. There's definitely more Epstein characters out there.
Epstein was Jewish and a Zionist and had big connections to Israeli politicians, including Ehud Barak. Who exactly is Ghislaine Maxwell, the procurer of young girls for Epstein's ring? Well, I can tell you who her father was, Bob Maxwell, who worked for Mossad for years. And he was funded by Mossad to buy the Daily Mirror. And then when he became a liability, just like Epstein was a liability, in a accident, and the yacht was called the Lady Ghislaine. Gouffre long claimed that Epstein kept her as his underage sex slave and loaned her out to his famous friends, including Prince Andrew. The Black Book of Jeffrey Epstein's contacts are people like Tony Blair, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who Epstein said visited him many times. The guy who was behind the bone saw cutting up of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Nice man. There are, of course, massive questions about where Epstein's money came from. He's supposed to be running a hedge fund. We do know that he was connected in this fund to a guy called Leslie Wexner. It also involves this web, something called the Mega Group. And this mega group connects us into Donald Trump. The mega group was formed in 1991 by Charles Bronfman and Wexner. What this ring does is to use pedophilia to compromise people who can make decisions that this cabal wants them to make to advance its agenda. Epstein was Jewish and a Zionist.
Yeah. Mossad agent. Working for the Mossad.
I mean, of course he would be, because he was working for the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. You gotta think about who owns Israel. And the Mossad, that's Israeli intelligence. You gotta think about it. Now, if y'all been following us for the last couple of days, y'all see we've been doing the history on Israel. And when it became a city-state in 1948 by the Zionists. And the head of the Zionist movement was Walter Rothschild. And it came out in recent interviews, well, not recent interviews, but, that Epstein worked for the Rothschilds and he worked for the Rockefellers. Actually, him working with the Rothschilds, that was actually in the Epstein files.
Yeah,
He actually admitted that he was a representative of the Rothschilds. and also a representative of the Rockefellers. And the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers is relatively the same. It's basically the same family, just distant family members.
Yeah,
That's basically what that is.
Rockefellers being the American representatives for
The
Rothschild.
Rothschild, right? And a lot of them intermarry and all that type of shit. So that's basically what that's about. That's how they combine families and shit, by intermarrying. And they combine businesses like that. So that's basically what's been going on.
Right.
This guy has been collecting information for these agencies and using it to blackmail politicians. Not just politicians, but world leaders, period. Like all from every different type of business or sector or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it could be execs, it could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be the head of religious movements and all of that. It don't even matter. And then, like we told y'all, Epstein ain't the only one out there, so that means it's happening right now. Even though Epstein is dead, that don't stop the operations. That's another thing. That's another thing people have to understand. That do not stop their operations just because one of their managers died.
Yeah, right. Right.
You know what I'm
I'm glad you put it in that term. One of their managers died.
Yeah.
Because that's all they are, is just managing for groups like the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. That's what they manage for. Glad you said that. Because the operation still continues. Right now, there's children being sex trafficking right now as we speak by the same very people that got put out there in the Epstein files. Then you got the new attorney general that took Pam Blondie's spot, saying we no longer going to investigate no one from the Epstein files. You really got nerve to say some shit like that to us? You really got nerve to say that shit? So you mean to tell me that these people that get to operate still, y'all not investigating none of these people, so they still get to operate and use our tax dollars? Yo, these motherfuckers is arrogant and bold as hell.
Yeah,
But it's really up to the people, though. At the end of the day, it's really up to the people, because really the people have the power to shut all this shit down, to be honest. Just by saying no. It's really up to the people. It's whatever we accept. It's whatever the people accept, you know?
It's only going to get
Blame the
worse if we
masses.
continue to let
That's what we
this go
always do.
on. It's only going to get worse. If the people
Right.
don't stand up and do shit, it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better from here. And people could keep brainwashing, thinking that things would be better if we just voted right. That shit never's been true. Oh, we would have.
One more time. One more time. Just
times when you were president of the United States that no president is ever going to desert Israel, right?
Correct. I put it more bluntly. I said, as I told congressional leaders during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube.
All right.
Democrat or Republican, it's not an issue.
That is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book you make it clear at the same time that Israel really is not of any enormous strategic value to the United States anymore.
That's correct.
So why then would the United States continue to burden itself with huge loans, in some cases outright to Israelis, jeopardize possibly young American fighting men, when there is no strategic value involved, or little strategic
Because
value?
the United States is concerned by more than strategic values. That's maybe a weakness, but it's the way we are. And there are moral issues involved here. We don't have an alliance with Israel. As you know, they're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger. It's a moral commitment because of what happened during the Holocaust, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area. And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people in the future will support all out the survival of Israel. If it's
they basically guilt guilt them into support by using the Holocaust.
It don't matter who you vote for, Democrat or Republican, you would have got the same result. Whether it was Kamala in there, whether it was Obama in there, whether it was Trump in there, whether it's Bush in there, whether if it's Nixon in there, he's telling you right out of his damn mouth. It's all going to be the same result. Because as much as Kamala Harris is being fake right now and say, oh, Trump shouldn't be at war with Iran. I don't agree with this war with Iran. She was just talking about going to war with Iran. That would be one of her first policies that she put in place.
Well, the policy's already in place, but they just got to follow it. The policy's already there. They've been talking this Iran shit going back, decades ago. So that was the plan already there. So they just get in a position to follow orders. That's it. There's no president that ever going to get in office and come with some new policies. They ain't even got the power to change no goddamn policy. That's like getting hired as a president of a corporation and you going there and changing shit. Like you're just the president. You ain't the owner. So how the hell you making changes?
Well, they try to make it look like to us that the American people are the owners. That's what they be trying to tell us, which we are, but we gave up that power. We give up that power all the time. Like the American people in general are supposed to be the owners. Because I mean, reality is how it's supposed to work is the politicians are supposed to be in service of the people, not the opposite way around. You know what I'm saying? So we in servitude to the politicians when they're supposed to be in servitude to us. So that's how it's supposed to go. But we know it's not like that because we know the corporations and banks are the owners. The people who's behind the corporations and banks, the major, and we talking about the conglomerate corporations, all the ones that's listed under BlackRock and Vanguard and all of that, they are the real owners of the United States. Let's just get that shit straight. And if you dig deep enough, you realize a lot of the politicians are either related to them or close friends with them, and it's just all just big one crony capitalism going on. And not just capitalism, we talking about crony capitalism, where only the politician and their cronies benefit off the capitalism.
Right, like Trump when he first got in there. Who did he bring up there to the White House when he first got in there? Elon Musk. He brought Elon Musk up there to the White House right away. Him and his little son X chromosome, whatever his little nigga name is. Whatever his little kid name is. And he was up there telling Trump to shut up and all that shit. Like he brought Elon Musk up there, parked a Tesla in front of the White House, did a whole commercial for Tesla in front of the goddamn White House. It's crazy. When Trump got elected, it was like all these billionaires in there haranguing this guy on that they was sitting up front and shit. Just haranguing they golden boy on and shit. Yeah.
Dang.
He was talking all that shit. Yeah, no more wars, no new wars. We want peace. I'm a peaceful president. Yeah, I'm a peaceful president. I don't want no wars. No more wars. As soon as he got in there, they handed that shit over to him on a silver platter and said, "This is what we need you to do." Next thing you know, he come out and do a whole public. He does a whole public speech. Yeah, we gotta go to war with Iran. We gotta go bomb Iran.
Look at this clown talking about some two retards. Hey, they back, JR. Two retards. You guys are stupid. You guys need to go. You guys need to go find your dad.
Magatards.
Yep.
Libtards. Magatards.
These are the magtards. These are the magatards. You know they mad that background is up there. They don't want to see their beloved God get arrested.
Let's go ahead and make it more clear.
Make it more clear. So the magnetards is gonna come after us, man. Initiation. Magnetards. Here they come. Magatards.
Said the Magatards activate.
They come in here like Darth Vader and the stormtroopers and shit.
See, let me make them even more mad though. Hold on, let me pull this up. Make y'all even more mad.
Make them mad, man. Make them mad. Oh, don't think y'all safe, libtards. Don't think y'all safe, libtards. Just cause we're focused on the magatards right now, don't mean you libtards can't get it later. Just know you libtards are next. Right now, we focused on the magatards.
Yeah, cause y'all homeboy Bill Clinton was up there with the boy at the White House.
He damn sure was.
Clinton had that boy up there at the White House chilling. Had Epstein right in the midst of all the sex trafficking and all that.
Yep.
He had Epstein up there at the White House chilling.
Over 17 times he was going in there in the White House in the Oval Office with his feet up. He had his feet up on the desk.
You can't tell me he ain't had no black. You can't tell me he ain't blackmailed Clinton on some shit.
Yeah, Lewinsky. Lewinsky was probably Epstein's. He probably planted Lewinsky in there.
Dang.
Lewinsky was probably an Epstein connection.
Right.
That's why Epstein had that picture of Bill Clinton with the blue dress on. That's letting everybody know that that's letting everybody know that he's behind that shit. Why would Epstein have a painting in one of his homes of Bill Clinton wearing the same dress that Monica Lewinsky was wearing when she gave him head in the Oval Office?
Right.
And Epstein been in that Oval Office over 17 times, chilling right next to Bill in the Oval Office, feet up, with his feet up. Like, that's letting everybody know the connection right there. So yeah, don't libtards. You ain't safe neither, libtards. But right now, let's get back to the magatards.
Magatards, this is for y'all. Let's get into it. Let me know if you can hear it. We good on the audio?
Yep.
What if millions of government files were released, and buried inside them were shocking allegations involving the US president? Because that's exactly what just happened. On January 30th, 2026, the US Department of Justice dropped over 3 million pages of newly released Jeffrey Epstein files. And while officials say nothing here changes the legal landscape, one name instantly set the internet on fire: Donald Trump. So what's actually in these files and what isn't? Let's break it down. The DOJ says this release fulfills the Epstein Files Transparency Act. We're talking court records, FBI tips, emails, photos, videos, a massive archive pulled from Epstein's investigation.
We are producing responsive materials under the Act. We are also releasing today a letter we are transmitting to Congress and various internal protocols associated with our review.
Officials were clear about one thing. These files include raw tips, unverified claims, and hearsay, not just proven evidence. And that distinction matters. Trump's name appears largely because of his documented social relationship with Epstein in the 1990s, a relationship.
You hear that, Magtards? You hear that, Magtards? With Epstein in the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. Y'all hear that, Magtards?
Look how close they look in this picture.
Look, that's y'all beloved president right there with Epstein. For y'all that love
get
Trump,
this,
there you
get
go.
this. Trump loved Israel then, and Trump loved Israel even more now. Trump daddy loved Israel, and Epstein works for Israel. What that tell you? Oh, this fake. Somebody said this fake news. Take it a Magatart, fake news. How's that fake news?
Can't fake your way out of them Epstein files. His name was up in there.
Fake news.
Over 30,000 something. Over 30,000 something times in there. Look, that's him right there with Epstein. That's the real picture.
I like using these program words, magatards, libtards. I'm gonna definitely start using this more.
A buddy right there with Epstein.
Gotta speak to them in their language.
Hey,
Magatards.
magas. Hey,
magatard. Hey, magatards.
Hey,
Y'all see
magas.
this?
Look, y'all buddies right there with Epstein. What you gotta say about that?
MAGA.
Chip Trump says ended long before Epstein's crimes became public.
You goddamn lie.
Some FBI tips reference Trump attending social events where Epstein was present, claims of young women being introduced at gatherings, allegations tied to Epstein's broader trafficking network.
Trump attended social events where Epstein was present, claims of young women being introduced at gatherings, allegations tied to Epstein.
Again,
broader sex trafficking network. That's your buddy Trump up there with Epstein.
These are tips, not findings. Among the most explosive entries is an unverified FBI intake report from around 2020. It describes a woman claiming that when she was about 13 or 14 years old, she was assaulted by Epstein and Trump. The allegation...
Y'all hear that? They're saying Trump was up there with Epstein with a 13-year-old allegedly. Y'all hear that? MAGA, where y'all at?
MAGA. Hey, MAGA.
MAGA, where y'all at? Y'all heard that? I'm gonna make y'all mad today.
Is graphic, it is disturbing, and it is not supported by corroborating evidence, according to the DOJ. The DOJ has explicitly labeled claims like this as sensationalist and unfounded. No charges, no indictments, no confirmation. This isn't the first time such allegations surfaced. In 2016, a civil lawsuit using pseudonyms accused Trump and Epstein of rape at a 1990s party. That case was withdrawn, never went to trial, and produced no evidence. Trump denied it outright. The DOJ says the new document release does not change that reality. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche made a point to say the department did not protect President Trump.
Can you assure the American public that President Trump, like every other prominent person whose name came up in relation to the Epstein files, that all documents, photos, and anything relevant to him connected to the case are being released?
I mean, yes, I can assure that we complied with the statute, we complied with the act, and there is no, we did not protect President Trump, we didn't protect or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents.
Trump let him borrow his tie.
And there's nothing I can do about that. But President Trump, of all the people in Washington, D.C. and around this country that have said for years the same consistent message about Jeffrey Epstein is President Trump. And so there's not been a change of course or anything, and certainly his direction to the American people and the Department of his direction to the Department of Justice was to be as transparent, release the files, be as transparent as we can. And that's exactly what we did.
Meaning, if Trump's name appeared in documents, it stayed in. But officials stress that mentions are...
Man, free Diddy, man. After hearing all this, man, let Diddy out of jail. Diddy went to jail for just being a freak. Let Diddy out of jail, man. He went
to jail to take the heat off of Epstein.
Right. They use Diddy as a front man to go to jail so they can scapegoat with Epstein. Nah, let Diddy out, man. He just rubbed man milk with his booze, man. What's the charges in that? Why he gotta go to jail? Because he rubbed man milk with his booze. He had his own private free calls. Why he had to go to jail for that? But meanwhile, these dudes get to be free. They all up in the Epstein file talking about human beef jerky and cheese pizza and all this weird shit they do. They get to walk free. Like Mike Jeffries from Abercrombie and Fitch walked free. He went to jail for what Diddy went to jail for. He paid $10 million, got out of jail, never to be heard from again. Man, free Diddy, man. Free Diddy. Free Diddy. I'm gonna say it out loud. Free Diddy. Hashtag it in the goddamn chat section. Free Diddy.
Free the freak. You gotta free the freak.
Free freak off Diddy, man. Freak off.
Free freak off Diddy.
Yeah, yep. Free freak off Diddy.
Free freak off Diddy, y'all.
Free freak off Diddy.
Freak off Diddy. You got a free freak off Diddy. The
Free
stuff they
freak
were
off
trying to
Diddy.
the stuff they were trying to blame Diddy for, that's the shit that Epstein was doing.
Facts. Exactly. That's the shit that our presidents was doing with the motherfucker Epstein.
They try to use Diddy as a scapegoat.
That's crazy.
I'm starting to see through their ass now. Yeah, freak off Diddy, man.
Yeah, free R. Kelly
free
too,
R.
man.
Kelly.
Yep.
Free R. Kelly.
That's crazy that they get to lock these black men up and use them as a scapegoat. Meanwhile, these type motherfuckers get off.
Right.
These type motherfuckers get off. Yeah, Mike Jeffries. Yeah, Abercrombie and Finch went to jail for sex trafficking crimes, and he got arrested and was able to go free.
Jail.
Yeah, he was able to get out on a $10 million bail.
Bro, he never even stepped foot in a jail, my nigga. He didn't touch no jail ever. He ain't never see the inside of nothing except one of his dungeons that he kept the kids at. Yeah, they let Michael Jeffries off. Hell yeah, they let him off. Y'all sound like you didn't finish high school. Oh yeah, that's a big accomplishment.
Right. But don't distract us, because we got to keep going into Trump and his alignment with Epstein. Let's continue.
Yeah, let's
Epstein.
Yep.
Hold on, that's a good picture.
Yeah, let's get it.
This is a nice picture for you, magatards. Look.
Magatard.
Trump. Who that at the time? Was that who the chick right there? Ain't that his wife at the time? That's Ghislaine, and that's Epstein. Look, that's perfect picture right there for y'all. MAGA. Look, that's a real picture. That's not AI. Get a good look at it.
Not proof, and that many submissions to the FBI are false, exaggerated, or politically motivated. There is no new case, no new charges, no verified evidence against Trump. What exists are unproven allegations preserved as part of a transparency release, not as conclusions.
They won't cover a
The
lot of that
Epstein
shit
files
anyway.
are disturbing, overwhelming, and messy, just like the case itself. They expose the scale of Epstein's abuse network. But when it comes to Donald Trump, officials say the documents contain claims, not proof. And until evidence changes that, that's where the story stands.
Look how close they are together.
Subscribe.
Hey, you trying to say they didn't have a relationship? He was close enough to him to kiss him on the cheek and the mouth. It literally looked like they just got finished sleeping together. Get the fuck out of here, y'all. Y'all honestly believe that Trump didn't have a close, intimate relationship with with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. They loved each other, magatards.
This the guy that want to see. Hold on, but this is the guy that want to send y'all 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds off to war. That guy right there want to help send y'all, enlist y'all children in the military and send them off to war. Meanwhile, he get to, chill with people like Epstein and shit like that.
Oh, don't think that you safe. Don't think that you safe, libtards, because
we're about to get to it.
Epstein was this close to your beloved Bill Clinton too.
We about to pull it up. We about to get to it.
So libtards, don't think that you safe, libtards. We just focused on the magatards right now. But we get back to you, libtards, soon.
Let's get to it.
I love using programming against programming. I'm just gonna speak their language. Magatards, your time is almost up. Libtards, you next. Because your beloved Bill Clinton, your beloved Kevin Spacey's and Chris Tucker, all your beloved celebrities and all your favorite killery friends, they all was part of Epstein camp too. None of y'all motherfuckers is safe. The libtards ain't safe. The magatards ain't safe.
Pull
The
him up.
votards ain't safe.
Loving you is easy because you're beautiful.
All right, libtards.
Do.
All right, magatards.
Of thousands of pages of Epstein files.
Confusing the hell out of
them. From the file. We're going to go to David's font in Washington.
All right, I got to restart it again. Sound. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. Oh, my bad, y'all. I got to make way.
They confused as hell, bro. They don't know what the fuck going on. Who are you guys with then?
Hundreds of thousands of pages of Epstein files. We've got some new pictures from the files to show you. And we're going to go to David Spunt in Washington that has those photos and the latest. David.
Hi, Will. About 300,000 pages. That is the goal of the Justice Department, to get that in by the midnight deadline tonight. Although DOJ says there will be several 100,000 pages released over the next few days and week or so. But I want to be clear that these photographs and some of these documents have literally no context. They don't have dates. They don't have names. They don't have times. Some of the photographs, we recognize people. We want to show one of Jeffrey Epstein and former President Bill Clinton, the 42nd president of the United States, appearing at what looks to be at a party wearing what appear to be silk shirts. There are two photographs of them in this Epstein files release. We don't
live tards. I ain't free. Look, they up there with their Diddy shirts on. They with their Versace Diddy shirts.
Yo,
Look,
hold on real quick.
That's your boy Bill Clinton and Epstein right there. They up there rocking them Diddy shirts.
These people they be literally screaming through their texts, man. They be literally screaming them through their fucking text there. Look at this person. This person mad as hell in here. It's the U.S. military, not a frat house. No one is forced to serve. It's all volunteer. Bunch of dumbasses. Look, he coming here. Look you, the drill sergeant. It's the drill sergeant. Come in here like the drill sergeant and shit. Yes, drill
sir.
sergeant.
With honors.
Yes, drill sergeant.
Sir, yes, sir. With honors.
T-Bone, the drill sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant.
Yeah, but let's not take the focus off now. That's your boy.
Let's get back to libtards.
Democrat.
Let's get back
Democrat.
Libtard.
Democrat.
Democrats.
Democrats. That's Bill Clinton with Epstein now. We didn't show y'all Trump with Epstein. This is Bill Clinton with Jeffrey Epstein. So we're trying to show y'all it's no Democrat Republican shit. Get it out your mind. They both on the Epstein files. Let's continue.
Know who the other person is. We don't know.
Another one. There you go. Just another close-up shot. Side shot in the club. Side shot in the club with Bill Clinton and Epstein with the Diddy Versace shirts on. Let's get it. And this is not AI. These are all real pictures. They all in the Epstein files. All these pictures in the Epstein files with Clinton. It's tons. It's actually tons of pictures with Epstein and Clinton.
They stole Diddy shirts and got him arrested. Look, these two stole Diddy shirts and got him arrested.
They got the Diddy shirts on.
Yep. Now Diddy's in jail and they out wearing Diddy shirts.
Don't look like they about to shoot a hip hop music video.
Yeah, for Bad Boy. Bad Boy Records.
Make sure y'all double tap the screen. Subscribe to this channel if y'all just tuning in. Yeah.
When this was taken, because the Justice Department does not say so in that evidence. So this is all incredibly nuanced, and I want to make that clear to our viewers. Also, there is a lot of redactions on many of these pages. For example, if we have it, we can show. If we don't, we can't show. But it's just essentially black chunks. It talks about a masseuse list, and it just says masseuse list. And there's 7 pages of complete black chunks. And then there's an asterisk in the corner, Will, and it says to protect victim information. And the law that was signed by President Trump after being passed by Congress directs the DOJ to put all of this information online in a publicly searchable format, but it calls on victim information to be protected. The law also clearly states that politicians, titans, industry titans, or famous people, world leaders, politicians, anybody that may be embarrassed by some of the information should not be redacted solely for that reason. So right now, we're continuing to look through this. As you can imagine, about 40 minutes ago, when the Will Cain show began, is when these documents slowly started coming online. We're expecting about 300,000 here today to be online, but it's tedious because it doesn't have specific information at all, or dates, or any kind of identifying information. We just happen to know, obviously, former President Bill Clinton in that photograph, Will.
So really quickly, David, as a point of clarification, is it a searchable database? You can put in a search term, you can make your way through those documents, even though there's 300,000. You could proactively look for something. It's less a discovery tool at this point, but you could look for something that is currently in those documents. So if it has that function, you could search Bill Clinton, or you could search Donald Trump.
Correct. Some of it is searchable right now. I'm fairly confident to say all of the documents are not uploaded right now, meaning the tranche that's supposed to be uploaded today, because it's a rolling basis to get those 300,000 up. The law calls for it, as you mentioned correctly, to be a searchable database for anybody to be able to go online, search, find information that they need. They're not going to find victim information, but it is notable the Justice Department website made us wait in a queue to get in. And if you didn't get in by a certain time, you've been locked out of that queue. So not everybody can get in at that time, which will raise questions about the bandwidth and about the site. But hopefully at some point, everybody's going to be able to get in, because that's what the law calls for, Will.
Well, hopefully that means you have access as well. You're in before essentially the door closed, David. So I would ask this. We have about 15 minutes left together here on the Will Cain Show, but I would like, because there will be so many questions to be asked, if you wouldn't mind, take a look through that search function. It looks like we've already looked into the idea of a connection to Bill Clinton. We should, for the sake of clarity, also looking for connections for Donald Trump. And I would like, because it's been mentioned on several occasions, both proactively and dismissively, any connections to foreign intelligence of Jeffrey Epstein. So any of that stuff that could come up in a search function in the next 15, we'll appreciate it, David, and appreciate the work that you're doing on this story.
Let's pull up your boy Bill Gates. You know, Bill Gates is set to testify as well up there at the House. He's supposed to meet with the Housing Committee to testify as well on, I think, June 6th. I think June 6th or something like that. All right, let me pull this up. Bill who gave his wife chlamydia, and she had to divorce him. All right, let me get to this. Mr. Bill Gates got to testify as well. Bill Gates.
The convicted sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein. Death and knowledge of the convicted sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein.
Gates is one of the more prominent figures who's faced backlash amid the release of thousands of files related to Epstein. You may remember the billionaire was named in at least 2 of Epstein's emails released earlier this year, where Epstein alleged Gates asked about antibiotics for an STD that he, quote, surreptitiously gave to his then wife, and another where Epstein claimed he'd helped Gates, quote, get drugs to deal with the consequences of sex with Russian girls. His ex-wife actually reacted to those emails earlier this year. Take a listen.
Personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Gates has previously said that his relationship with Epstein, which began after Epstein pleaded guilty to sex crimes in 2008, was a huge mistake. And he even apologized to his foundation staff during a town hall that was back in February. As for his testimony before the House, his spokesperson told our colleagues at the Hill that he, quote, welcomes the opportunity to appear before the committee. While he never witnessed or participated in any of Epstein's illegal conduct, he is looking forward to answering all the committee's questions to support their important work. Gates's transcribed testimony is set for June 10th A source tells The Hill that billionaire Ted Waite and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick have also agreed to testify before the panel, but that those dates have not yet been set. One of Epstein's former aides and jail guards are also both set to testify.
Well, you know my feelings on this continuing crusade.
You're not a big release the Epstein files guy.
Not anymore. But if anyone, I guess, is going to testify, it would make sense for Bill Gates to do so. He is the person who comes off looking worst in the files. Now, not, I guess, just because they're embarrassing to you doesn't mean you're necessarily an interest of the government. But Epstein, he is the one person. There's some evidence that Epstein did maybe try to blackmail. So he might have insights into how Epstein operated in terms of remember that was what was alleged, is that he was trafficking girls and then he was blackmailing people and he was getting political favors.
Epstein, not Gates. We should make clear.
Right?
Yes.
Epstein was doing that. Right? No, Bill Gates, a victim of, I mean, sordid things he was involved in, but you know, that's his personal life. So he might have something to share that is relevant. So I support him testifying. It frankly sounds like he maybe even wants to address or atone for what he's been accused of doing. He did do, I think, a public apology to people who work for him, and you know, has admitted he was kind of an embarrassing person. This is embarrassing for everyone who's been involved with. So seems like this is, you know, the right move for all involved, and might actually shed some light on Epstein's operations in ways that would actually be interesting. I mean, this is, you know, this is talking about the financial aspect of Epstein stuff. Gates has tons of money. They were friendly and then combative, and so this was interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I do think that he should testify, and I think it is legitimate that he should be called to do so. I suppose people.
Bill Gates' stupid ass should have just stuck to Microsoft. He gonna give his wife a virus. Do he have an antivirus to fight off the virus? His dumb ass should have just stuck to Microsoft. You know, all of the extra shit over there experimenting in other countries. Him and Melinda, you ain't 100% off the 100% clear, because you set back, you and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation experimenting over there in them African countries with those little children.
Don't forget about
India. Yeah, India, Africa, and them small villages experimenting on them children. So she's not 100% clear.
You hear that, libtards?
Hear that, libtards? Hear that, libtards? That's funny shit. Magatards and libtards. That's
Can't
funny.
make them forget, right?
Right.
That's some funny shit. I love
Funny
using their
shit.
programming. I'm talking to them in their language, letting them know both sides ain't shit.
Yep. Somebody said both sides are fucked. You're absolutely correct. And that's what we be trying to show y'all, that both sides are guilty. Both sides are guilty. Both sides on the Epstein files. Both sides supports Israel with these wars that's taking place. Yes.
On the Democratic side might imply that that is politicized, because he's, I think, generally considered a fairly liberal-leaning and, you know, donor and all the rest of it. But he does appear to have legitimate questions to answer. Gates also, separate from any of the specifics that we mentioned, he has at times kind of downplayed his relationship with Epstein, which by its nature then arouses a little bit of suspicion, or maybe more than a little bit of suspicion. Now,
that's why he has to answer questions under oath.
Well, right.
No, can't downplay it.
Yeah, no,
you can,
but then you'd be in trouble. Now, suspicion or hints of suspicion, of course, are very different from wrongdoing, and we've always made that point repeatedly, that he contends that he, for example, had no dealings with Epstein's victims, that he didn't see anything that was untoward, all of that. But to your larger point, I do think that there is some insight that he could potentially bring to bear on how Epstein deals with these very rich and influential people, or dealt.
Yeah, because him and Epstein had business deals together, which I wanted to switch to this real quick. Epstein and Bill Gates were in bed together. They did big business. Trump did big business with Epstein too, because he was talking about some plan that fell. They had a falling out, and he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because a business deal didn't go through. I forgot what the business deal was over, but Epstein definitely did business with Trump. Clinton did business with Epstein as well. I'm talking about like real financial business. Like they
Yeah,
had
he didn't kick
money
him out of
tied up.
Mar-a-Lago. He didn't kick him out of Mar-a-Lago because he liked young girls. He
Right.
kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because of bad business deals.
Bad business deals.
So y'all hear that, magatards? Y'all hear that? Cause that y'all like to try to make it up like that's what happened. Like, oh, he didn't like what Jeffrey Epstein did. That's why he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He ain't kick him out of Mar-a-Lago for messing with young girls. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because they had a bad business deal that fell through.
Yeah, that's what
Hear
Trump
that,
said.
magatards?
Trump said that out his own lips, out his own MAGA lips. So let's continue. Let me know if I can hear that.
Nah, you gotta
All right, I got
now.
reshare it.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into that, let's get into a quick commercial break. Y'all gonna want to hear this, so stick around because y'all gonna want to hear this Bill Gates and Epstein business dealings that they were into.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.
We're sponsored by nightandayherbals.com. We sell our own products on there, right along with other merchants that hooked up with us to sell natural products, chemical free, no chemicals, no synthetic sprays. We hooked up with the Amish to grow the CBD. So all our CBD on there is potent and it's, chemical free, no synthetics, no sprays, no anything. It's grown naturally, so make sure y'all check out our website, nightandayherbals.com. We have all types of products on there. Good, clean, high quality products from CBD to sea moss to hair products, skin products. We got some hoodies on there as well. We have some apparel hoodies on there that y'all can check out. So shop with us, nightandayherbals.com.
Or y'all could just search us on Google, Night and Day Network LLC.
Search
and our website will pop up right there. Just click on the website. That'll get you there. Night and Day Network LLC. You can search us on Google.
Search us. Yeah, y'all can do that right now. Search us on Google right now. You'll see us pop up.
5 stars.
5 stars on there. Y'all can check out the reviews. Let me type it in there. Google Night and Day Network LLC. You can put it in Gemini. You can put it in ChatGPT. You can find, they'll pull up everything that we about. We've been in business for over 7 years, so make sure y'all check us out. Matter of fact, let me put it in the chat real quick. Make sure y'all. Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. Y'all that's in here now, while y'all watching, y'all could open another screen up and tap Google and put in Night and Day Network LLC. Search us on Google right now while we in here. But we want to go over this video here. This is Bill Gates dealings. All the dealings that Bill Gates had with Epstein all came out in the files. So Bill Gates is up to testify June 10th in front of the House committee. So let's get into this.
Involved as early as 2017 in setting up the scheme of this great pandemic for some investors to make a fortune.
Bring it back.
The central banks imposed a fake pandemic. You know that story. People like Jeffrey Epstein, it's now a public record, were involved as early as 2017 in setting up the scheme of this great pandemic for some investors to make a fortune, such as Bill Gates. Epstein and Bill Gates discussed, matter of public record, of how to get rid of the poor people. The centralization of power into fewer hands is not a good trend. Fascism was about the concentration of power. Communism was about the concentration of power. Any dictatorship wants to concentrate power. Now, what's the justification for this? They will come up with stories, but when you look at the politics, it's very clear. In our day and age and where we live, the politics is not convincing, because actually the opposite should happen. We claim to be fans of democracy. That means equal rights for people, participation of people in the decision-making process, not one-way diktats from above by central planners. Now, the politics is clear. There's no justification for this, but they're selling it us on the economics. What about the economics? Well, the economics is also very clear. There's no justification for centralization, even in the economics. What is the economics? Well, in order to have both democracy and economic success and prosperity, we need decentralization. The principle of decentralization is also known as the principle of subsidiarity, officially subscribed to where we are by Brussels, but of course in reality ignored almost all the time, is about delegating power and decision-making, the actual decision-making, to the lowest possible level wherever possible. And it's been shown any organization involving humans will be more successful if you follow that principle, because it works. People on the ground, at the front line, whatever it may be, they can react quickly, they can make decisions. But so the decisions will be better, they'll be more effective, but also people will be motivated. That's why the Soviet Union didn't really work so well, because you had these crazy instructions which made no sense, but you still had to do it anyway. So this principle is well established. I wrote a paper on this, Subsidiarity as Secret of Success. And it's an HR journal, Employee Relations. It's open access, so have a look at it. So we have no political justification and no economic justification. And yet the central planners demand more power and more concentration of power into their hands. And it's pretty bad, I tell you. It's been going on for years. They want to control all transactions. Let's start with transactions. Since the 2014 e-invoicing directive and the regulation 910, the Commission
Bro, you on mute. I don't know what's going on with JR. The video froze. So basically, in other words, man, F both sides. F both sides. That's the motto right there for this live stream. It ain't no Democrat or no Republican gonna save you. So all you magatards out there, all you libtards, Harry, they are not going to save you. All right? Somebody said, don't let Trump near your daughter. He's a ussy grabber. Yeah, he would. Probably Biden would. Who knows? Even if Hillary got in there, she probably would. Let's just be real. At the end of the day, they all loved Epstein. We gotta realize that this country, right now in the state that it's in, that is liable to collapse. Shit, by the end of next month, this shit is liable to collapse. And if it does collapse, it's all by design. Now y'all could go in there and think that voting the right way, rather voting left or voting right, is going to save this country. You're way past gone. You way past gone. And that's basically where we at right now. We to the point where the people have to stand up and do something about it. And you don't need no grabbing up your arms and going to the street and committing any violent acts. If enough of us just stop playing their games, you know what I mean? Stop playing their game, their economic game, it'll collapse on its own. And then the people can come together and take charge on where to take this country right now. Because way we see it right now, all these politicians, and you back, and all these politicians and all these bureaucrats, they're not going to get us nowhere but further in the hole. Hold on real quick before you start that.
All right.
They ain't going to get us nowhere but further in the hole. So this is a perfect time for both magatards and libtards to come together and realize both sides ain't shit. Just accept what each other is talking about. Magatards, you saying that the libtards are corrupt. Libtards, you saying that the magatards are corrupt. Y'all both are right. Both sides are corrupt. Both sides are corrupt. You have to realize both sides are not for the American people. All right? You can't be arguing with your neighbor down the street that you see every day for some bum in an Oval Office that you never gonna meet. And yes, they're the real bums because all they do is leech off the public, start wars so they can make money for them and their friends, and continue to beg for money through got to pay higher taxes and all this. While on the other hand, they skimming off the top of all of that money. They skimming off the top of all of that money. No oversight. And they do whatever they want with it. I send some over there to Israel. I put some of my kids, college fund. I do this. All but taking care of the American people. Magatards.
That's why American people got to take care of themselves.
Right. Unite.
And the only way you can really do that is if you start, incorporating yourself with other cultures. Like us being, so-called, I don't like to use that word African American, but us being of that descent and actually linking with other communities like the Amish community, then that's what it's going to take. It's going to have to take communities actually and cultures actually intertwining with each other to sustain against these corporations and these mega banks. Because the people, really, the powers and the people, not these corporations. Because all we have to do is say no. We can go a week without supporting them, and they'll be shut down. I remember Facebook going down for like a few hours, and they lost billions of dollars just by Facebook going down for like a half a day. They lost, double-digit billions of dollars when that happened. So imagine if people just start saying, listen, nah, we don't want to buy no more of your poison products. We don't want no more chemicals in our food. We don't want y'all spraying our air. We don't want to use y'all gas. We don't want to send our kids to y'all schools anymore. We just want to do our own thing. And them corporations will be shut down by tomorrow. But they got us all fighting amongst each other. See, people come in here and fight with us. Meanwhile, they go in their cabinet and they got corporation poison food in there. Go in your cabinet right now, and your refrigerators and your cabinets, and flip over and look at those ingredients. That's how much our government cares about us. All right? That's how much your government cares about you. All right? Flip over the ingredients. Look up some of those ingredients that you feed your children every day. On top of that, they want to send your kids to war. They want to draft your children, 18 to 25, to go fight for Israel. But that's how much your government cares about you. Y'all rather come here and fight with us, be in the chat. Oh, y'all don't know what the F y'all talking about. Meanwhile, we presenting facts to you. Right in your face. So you know what? You deserve whatever you get by your own ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. You get whatever you deserve by your own ignorance. That's just how it happens. If you want to turn a blind eye to what's happening, then you got to suffer the consequences for being ignorant. So we telling you, listen, they want to draft your children by December. They want to put y'all kids' names on the list to go out and fight for a country that has nothing to do with America, with the American citizens, I should say. That has nothing to do with the American citizens. But hey, let y'all tell it. Let's continue though.
Since the 2014 e-invoicing directive and the regulation 910, the Commission has made law that there will have to be electronic in order to allow for the creation of EU digital identity wallets. And some countries have already implemented this. Hungary, of all countries, actually has moved ahead of others in implementing this. And that means that there's no more economic transaction freedom, because as a company, you're not allowed to issue an invoice if it's not through the system with specific software, which is part of the centralized control. And of course, that is the first step to then also intervene and, perhaps stop transactions, whatever you want. Once you have the infrastructure, you can use this power. But it's not just Europe. We see the same trends, just like in 2020, when suddenly everyone had the same very strange list of prescriptions that needed to be implemented.
Listen, if they're going to put your children's name on the list automatically, that means anytime they launch a draft, that means your children, you shouldn't even want your children's name on the list. That's what the fuck we trying to get through to y'all. Y'all keep talking about ain't no draft, it ain't no draft. Yeah, we know that, but they saying they could automatically put your children on the list just in case if they launch a war and want to draft your fucking children, they could come take your children out your home and force them to go to war. Wake the fuck up. Stop going, but listen, wake the fuck up. They put your child name on the list. That means they can draft their ass whenever the fuck they want. Stop being dumb in here. Let's continue.
Implemented. Japan already has a qualified issuer invoice registration system and so on. So what is this? This is actually the fallback plan B route to impose digital ID and total digital control of all our transactions in case things don't work out so well with plan A. So we have to be aware of that. Plan A is central bank digital currency that are programmable, the power to create and allocate new money, which would give this to the central bank and therefore also transfer fiscal powers, the only sort of remaining power in the hands of parliaments, which is one of the definitions of democracy, for parliaments to decide over budgets. Obviously, we're not in the parliament here because that's not the democratic parliament when you don't have those powers. But they want to take them away from those parliaments in Europe that have those powers. The central planners want to take that job. But it's the transactions. And here, of course, what is the programmability? Well, there's the infrastructure being created. It could be anything. It could be climate change, carbon footprint. That could be the principle, but it can be other principles. Do you support the war? Are you on the right side with your opinion on whatever currently is?
That's the point we trying to make. This is the real information. When you oppose to what they think, they could turn your fucking financial chip off just like that. Because it's all being linked to our digital IDs. They want us to have these digital IDs that's linked to the cryptocurrency system that they control, cashless society. When you oppose to anything they present, and you say no, we don't want no war, we don't agree with it, they can turn your finances off. That's where we get at.
Like they did in Canada with the trucker movement when the truckers was out there protesting during the COVID time. And they basically was able to shut down all their financial, or they PayPals and all that. That basically shut down the trucker movement when the truckers was out there protesting in Canada.
All right.
And they was able to just shut all their financial shit down. Yeah, that we already 80 to 90% there because everybody's either using, Apple Pay or PayPal or Venmo. Yeah, all that shit could be shut down with one click of a button.
Yeah,
they add the digital IDs to it. They add the digital IDs to it and attach, government policies and integrate artificial intelligence. Yeah, we're done. If that's just integrated with our social media profiles, like our YouTube channel or Instagram or X, or TikTok, they could just shut your shit down if they don't like what you're saying. Easy, one click of a button, you won't be able to spend your money nowhere.
Yeah, you won't even be able to.
That system ain't gonna last long. The system
not.
don't. These idiots don't realize that shit is not gonna last. That system like that, people would tear this place the fuck up. This ain't no sci-fi movie. This is reality.
Right.
Like people would tear this shit up because that's way too intrusive, and I don't think they realize that. But that shit's way too intrusive. That is not gonna stick. These people at the WEF and the IMF, they delusional. They're delusional if they think that shit's gonna stick.
Yeah, they gotta put you on timeout, bro. You just keep posting the same thing. Like,
yeah, when they do that, get them out of here.
Right. It's all right to post and but spamming, like, nah, we ain't doing no spamming. But yeah, that's what that's the big picture. Because it's really all about all this shit is surrounding the new financial system. That's what all this shit is really about.
Facts.
Because what can you really do with $40 trillion in debt? That shit is impossible to be paid back off dollars. That's impossible. So they have to try to, destroy the old financial system in order to build this new infrastructure up. So that's all this war shit is about. They want to take all the resources, put it on the blockchain. They want to take all the everything they want to put on this blockchain to basically drive up the crypto market. And that's what we all to be switched to. That's what we all to be using.
Can I break that down to them? Just
break it down. Break it down, bro. Go ahead.
The only reason why they fluffed up Bitcoin because they want to use that to pay off the national debt. Then we'd be forced on a system of digital currencies.
Right.
Because you gotta think about it. All that Bitcoin, if they try to pay off the national debt with Bitcoin, they're gonna have to liquidate the Bitcoin in stable coins to even use it. That's why we passed the Genius Act, which basically is setting the structure for stable coins in the United States and the world. Now they waiting on the Clarity Act to build the infrastructure to move those stable coins on. And the stable coins is just another derivative of the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies. It's just that the stable coins are issued from the big corporations, and CBDCs will be issued directly from the government, which means the government will have direct access to all your everything you do financially, 100% of the time, 24/7 in real time.
Right.
So if the IRS can tax you in real time if they have CBDCs, the government, rather you getting assistance or they taking money because you got overpaid or something with assistance, they'd be able to get that money in real time. That's what the CBDC shit would actually have, give the government unlimited power, and then they'd be able to program your money. But the whole Bitcoin shit is fake. Like they fluffed those numbers up for Bitcoin because they eventually going to want to use that to pay off the world debt, the national debt, so they can switch us to digital currency. That's why they actually, in every country, you realize they all got cryptocurrency laws. So the crypto shit ain't going nowhere. A lot of people thought the crypto shit wasn't real. People still think, oh, that crypto shit, it's not going to last. It ain't real. Nah, that's the new financial system.
Yeah. I mean, they already signed in the Genius Act. The House already passed the Clarity Act. Now they're waiting on the Senate, which the deadline is in July. The deadline for them to vote on, and both sides is going to vote on the Clarity Act. So once the Clarity Act is, because that's giving clearance and that's also giving regulations. So once they clear that, we're gonna be up and running. Digital crypto wallets for everyone. Ledgers and digital crypto wallets for everyone. You actually got some websites that already have wallets set up. I think Facebook has a wallet already set up. I don't know if YouTube has, but eventually all these systems that we're using gonna, your job, wherever you work, your paychecks is gonna be done through crypto digital wallets. You're gonna be paid on the go. It ain't gonna be waiting no more for 2 weeks for your paycheck, or you gotta file taxes at the end of the year. All that's gonna be handled on the go. As you working, you're getting paid on the clock, hour on the hour, and you that's the money that's available to you right away. You ain't gonna have to wait for your money. So that's the shit we dealing with right now. And of
And they
course you
not gonna
got
have to wait to tax you.
right. So of course you got like Ripple being set up to basically handle cross border payments in a matter of seconds. You ain't got to wait 2 or 3, 4, 5 business days for $100,000 to clear. That'll be taken care of right away. You can get your $100,000 in a matter of seconds. You ain't got to wait for it to clear or anything. So that's the system that we're going into. A lot of people don't know that because they're really not paying attention. They caught up in the distractions and the bullshit. So yeah.
The magatards is just say that what we're saying is fake news. And the
I mean, they
libtards,
could check. They can go check for themselves if you want to. But as y'all checking and searching, make sure y'all search Night and Day Network LLC in the Google browser. For all y'all that's here, all you 1,000 people that's here that's tuning in, go look us up. Night and Day Network LLC on Google. You can type it in Gemini or Google. Yep, go check us out. But let's get back to this. Because and this thing, it is just the Euro Parliament up there that's speaking on this shit. So let's
countries we're making war on. It could be anything. It could be you're stepping outside a 15-minute city, and so your money perhaps.
Yeah, that's another thing. The 15-minute smart cities that's being built. That's going to be built. So that's all part of the new financial system as well. The 15-minute, smart cities. Right now they got a project called Smart. If you can Google this, Smart LA project. They're trying to build, get this digital cities built up by 2028, and that's where the Olympics is coming to America in 2028. So they trying to rush everything right now. Yeah, it's called Smart LA. It's all about the smart cities that they're trying to build. That's what the whole forest fires in LA, they burnt down half of damn LA and Canada and all these fires that was started, and all that's just to burn out the people out that area so they can start building these smart cities. That's all this shit is really about. Yeah. It's all there for the search. You can search all this shit. What we talking about, it all pop up. You'll see it. But let's get back into this real quick because he made a good point about 15-minute cities.
Other principles, do you support the war? Are you on the right side with your opinion on whatever currently is, countries we're making war on? It could be anything. It could be you're stepping outside a 15-minute city, and so your money perhaps shouldn't work. But it's not just transactions. It's also assets. And this gets pretty scary here, I think. The Bank for International Settlement, the central bank, originally created like most central banks as a privately owned institution, but extraterritorial, created the precedent for extraterritorial organization that is above countries, outside countries. So it's sort of in Switzerland, but it's not actually in Switzerland, in Basel. Has suggested that, well, we need to tokenize everything, all assets, and bank deposit, bank money, central bank money, as well as other assets. And there needs to be seamless integration of all this and programmability in one platform, we are told. So what are these other assets? It turns out we already have national organizations that are currently compiling asset registers. And you think, okay, that's financial assets. Perhaps add land. Well, you can add quite a lot. They want to add everything, natural assets, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the oceans, everything. Now, why is this? Tolstoy wrote a good piece on this when he criticized economists for only having land, labor, capital in the production function. Why is the air not in there? The energy, the sun? Well, because they haven't figured out how to control access and charge for it. And that's what's happening with digital ID. They now are able to do this. And now they want to do it, as we hear from World Economic Forum agenda contributor Lindsay Hooper at Sustainability Institute in Cambridge. We need to bring nature onto the balance sheet, allocate a value to it, and bring it into the accounting and financial mechanism. Well, and of course, there's various agencies in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in many countries already doing this for nature, and they're digitalizing it now. A natural capital register, the value, the quantity, and the quality of natural resources in one place. Capital accounts. Of course not. Because the intention is to control access to nature and charge for it. And they themselves go on, well, actually, what we're going to do is put monetary terms to nature, calculating where possible monetary value to the benefits produced by natural assets. And this will support, they say, prioritization. In other words, some people will get access, others not. And the criteria, well, they can be made up. Europe, the EU, is creating the Anti-Money Laundering Authority, AMLA, under a lot of secrecy and not exactly very transparent itself. And of course, this asset register will then have all sorts of assets in it. And of course, we then have as a next step the tokenization of these assets. And why is that important? In Switzerland, they're building the European Digital Asset Exchange. There'll be other asset exchanges. Well, tokens can be useful to the extent that they facilitate the process of issuing, storing, and transferring value. So access can be programmed, not just on transactions, but also access to assets, including natural assets and the air we breathe. And ownership of these tokenized assets can be transferred from you to the central planners. That seems to be the agenda. So why aren't they rolling this out faster? Well, McKinsey in its study said, oh, there's some obstacles. Technical challenges, for example, internet connections, things like that. Secondly, a clear or substantiated market value proposition has yet to be documented. In other words, there is no actual benefit of this for ordinary people. Some consider CBDC benefits to be limited relative to already established private solutions. We have digital money, it works. And thirdly, I'm still quoting McKinsey, trust remains a hurdle for a meaningful share of citizens and system participants to accept this, who question the motives behind CBDCs, often suspecting governments of aiming to monitor or restrict financial activities. Of course, we now realize it's not just financial activities, it's about all activities, and the programmability is a key feature. The Bank of England asked the government, the politicians in the UK, to give them the power to have programmable digital currency, and that is a control tool. The pilot CBDC projects that are ongoing, for example, this one in Brazil in particular, experts have already found out, yes, it has all those features. You can freeze transactions, you can take people's money away, you can intervene in those ways. Now, the central planners claim we will not abuse the limitless power that digital ID and CBDCs will give us. Okay, well, should we trust them? Well, I can be brief here. I think all of you know examples of how this sort of power has already been abused. Just thinking of Justin Trudeau's ending the peaceful demonstrations by truckers in Ottawa. Their bank accounts were frozen. Their ability to buy food is how they got them. Too few used cash and digital.
You just mentioned that, bro, about the truckers being cut off. They wasn't able to buy food. None of that shit.
Fact.
Crazy. This is where they're trying to bring us to.
Currency, well, they didn't have CBDCs, so they had to pass laws to do it, and that will be very easy once you have CBDCs. The police froze 206 financial products, including bank and corporate accounts, disclosed 56 entities associated with vehicles, facial recognition, even 253 Bitcoin addresses were identified, and PayPal was also shut down. So that's how they can do it. Now, interestingly, no such financial controls had been used previously to stop criminals. But of course, peaceful demonstrating citizens, that's when it seems the central planners get pretty creative about how to stop people. And of course, we all know what happened in 2020. Digital ID suddenly were a topic. Vaccination passports as a backdoor to introduce digital ID. And then, of course, programmability. You can close access if you don't do X, Y, Z. It can be anything the government central planners decide. And now we have the EU commissars already abusing their dictatorial powers that they've had for a while, but now they're showing these powers by declaring polite, very polite, considered critics like Jacques Beau, a Swiss former sort of army officer, in his, just giving his opinions. He's an outlaw now. He's been sanctioned. He can't buy food. He can't leave the country, Belgium, in order to travel back to Switzerland. It is quite extraordinary. Now, on the monetary front, the CBDC is the biggest upheaval in our monetary system in more than 300 years. But the digital aspect is not new. What is happening, therefore, is the centralization, but it's a particular type of centralization. The central banks are ripping up the old agreement between the banks and the central banks, which was that the central banks deal with banks and the banks deal with us. And overall, the banks haven't really abused that. They've never sold our data ever, our transactions data. They haven't. That's really why they've become the enemy, because that's supposed to be a currency that they want to sell and trade, and banks have refused to do that. So the that game. So the bank regulators will compete against the banks, because CBDC is just a current account at the central bank. That's what's happening. Of course, this conflict of interest explains what the central banks have been doing. They've been taking anti-bank policies for many decades. Already in 2002, I warned about how the central banks were creating these asset bubbles, banking crises, recessions. And of course, that has continued ever since. Unabated. We've got regulatory moral hazard. The more crises they create, the more powers we give them. Each time they demand, it's because we didn't have enough powers, which is not actually true, and should have been stopped earlier. So can we trust the central banks to give them yet more power? I think the answer should be a resounding no. The high inflation that started in 21 was created by the central banks. No matter what they tell you about wars, the economics is very clear. I could forecast it quite successfully from May 2020 onwards, that 18 months later we'll get significant inflation, because the money creation was just massive, off the charts. Then the central banks imposed a fake pandemic. You know that story. And we know that people like Jeffrey Epstein, it's now public record, were involved as early as 2017 in setting up the scheme of this great pandemic for some investors to make a fortune, such as Bill Gates. And then we can also make money injecting people with stuff and solve the problem, as Epstein and Bill Gates discussed, matter of public record, of how to get rid of the poor people. And of course, it was used at the same time to push digital ID.
Bingo! That's what all this shit is about, y'all. That very video right there. Matter of fact, let me give y'all the channel that posted that. Some of y'all might want to go listen to that video on your own. For y'all that came here late, this is the Economic Times. The video is called Epstein Gates were setting up COVID. Economically explosive claims about the pandemic shocks everyone. That's the title. So make sure y'all check that out, because that's what the shit is really about. Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Subscribe now. Click on all notifications so you get the notifications for the next time we go live. Like we said, we're going to keep the content coming, keep the information coming, and that's what we about. Information, facts, real content, real products to sell, real high quality products. None of that fake synthetic chemical based products. We sell real high quality herbal products through our website. So we appreciate y'all that been supporting us over the years that we've been in business. 9dayherbals.com. Like you said, you could type in Google right now, 9-Day Network LLC. Type that in your Google browser right now. You'll see our shop come up. You'll see our brand come up, period. All the website, all the social media platforms we on, everything comes up. All right, 9-Day Network LLC. Type that in your Google browser. I guess anything else, bro? You got?
Oh, that'll be it. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. like we said, if y'all want to support Night and Day Network LLC, or go to nightandayherbals.com. Links is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also pinned in the description of this video.
Yes, indeed. And on that note, your body.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day will slow me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. Now I can clean my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. And this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. It feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
As comfort slows you down, reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp Balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at nightandayherbals.com.